Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of From Page to Stage. I'm your host, Wendy Corner, and I will be interviewing today a rather lovely gentleman by the name of Jaime. If you look at his name and you think it's Jamie, it's not. It's Jaime. I will get him to say his surname in a minute. But let's give you a bit of a background as to what we're doing with this podcast in the first place. Authors, you've got your book out. Are you only an author, or are you also speaking as well? Because you got to do both. Your words will stay in book form in the hands of so many people, but your message needs to get out to a wider audience, doesn't it? And that's where speaking comes in. And that's where we're exploring the from page to stage. Now, to start with, I'm interviewing people who have done both. Some of them started on the stage and went to the page, and they've gone back over, and it's all a journey. But all of these opening guests have done both. They know the power of their words, whether it be on the written page or said out loud. So let me introduce, without any further ado, Jaime. Would you give us your glorious name, please? Tell us a bit about you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Wendy, for this wonderful interview, and so happy to be here. And hello, everyone. I'm from Colombia, Medellin, Colombia, and my name is Jaime Lundquist-Munoz.
Munoz.
And
okay,
yes.
Thank you. I wasn't sure how to pronounce the surname, which is why I said over to you.
Sure. So yes, it's been a pleasure that just to be here and share my story, share what brought me here at this moment where I am in my life right now.
So tell us.
Since I went from being, I want to say like ordinary, just living my own life, just working and, the daily things that we do. And suddenly you have a change of reality. Suddenly you're in another reality, like how I became an author, how I became #1 international bestseller, not once, but 3 times.
Good on you.
So in life, sometimes something happens to us that take us from one place to another.
Yes.
It's like jumping timelines. And I learned through Lucid Dreaming and Astral Projection how to jump timelines, so I can accelerate and manifest what my heart desires or my purpose in my life is. So I don't have to wait too long.
Okay.
And that's what I want to teach. I love teaching people that.
Now you got me intrigued. You mentioned astral projection. You mentioned lucid dreaming. Now, for those of us who are going, do what? Could you give us a bit of a definition of what each of those is, please?
Sure. I have been having this experience since I was 12 years old back home in Colombia. And how I started was by reading the Bible. I was very intrigued seeing that the Bible says that the prophets were having these dreams, these out-of-body experiences. What my understanding was, because I read that it says that the Lord took them in the spirit and showed them things. Okay. So before I went to sleep, I would pray. I would ask God, I want to experience what these prophets have experienced. I want to know what it feels like. I want to know how it works. And that night, I had that experience, having an out-of-body experience. And it was when I had that experience, I saw myself having these vibrations, and I didn't get scared because I thought, I think I need to match the vibration of heaven in order to be able to that's probably what these people experienced in ancient times. So I had that intuition, I think, was kicking in me, letting me know that, I asked for consciously, I became conscious. I said, I asked God to show me something amazing. So this might be part of it. So I didn't get scared. I was more curious. 12-year-old, I was like curious.
Right.
And I was more brave. And and I said, I'm ready. And suddenly I felt my body getting up and moving away from my body. So I looked, and there's my body on the bed.
Ooh.
And I said, so this is how God shows people things. And this is when I started walking around the house. I started going through the walls. I started exploring.
Okay.
And then I said, okay, God, all right. So this is how you show things in the spirit. And then I went back to my body. When I woke up, I was so excited. I was telling my mom, and my mom knew that that was astral projection.
Okay.
She already had some understanding of that. So she explained to me also what it was. And the difference, we're going to explain about the difference between lucid dreaming, which is waking up in your dream and realizing you're dreaming and able to maneuver your dreamscape. I don't want to say control, because a lot of people say control your dreams, but we don't control the dreams, because the dreamscape it's something that we can manipulate or alter. When I see something in my dream that I don't like and I have to deal with, I can change a date in my dream. So in my real life, I can improve it. I can improve myself. Yes. So dreams teach you something about yourself. If you want to get to know yourself, get to know your dreams.
Okay.
Yes.
What about people who don't remember dreams?
Oh, that's easy. If you want to remember your dreams, all you have to do is every time you wake up and you remember a little bit of your dreams, write it down. Keep a journal, a dream journal. What happens is that you start training your mind to remember. So even in a waking life, you go for a walk and you see something strange or something happens, take note of that. Take a little note or a recorder and record it, and you're training yourself to remember. So, and also will help you remember where you left the kids the last time in a waking life.
Yeah, that's a good
Where
one.
did I left it? What, I'm trying to remember something. So you start developing the remembering your brain, because the brain is a muscle.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you develop your learning ability and to remember during the day, you are going to remember your dreams also.
Okay.
We do reality checks.
Sorry for interrupting. Would you suggest then that we all dream every night, whether we remember it or
all dream. We all dream. Everyone dreams, whether we remember or not, consciously or unconsciously. Okay. We all dream.
Right.
So what happens is that it's all about training. We're all trainable. This practice is trainable like anything else. I go into the gym. You go to the gym to get all buffed up and great and good shape and strong muscles. Same with the non-physical astral body or brain. Also, on the brain can be trained that muscle to remember and to have be able. I don't want to use the word control this time, but kind of control your thoughts, your ability to do something. Okay. So when I go to sleep, I already set my intentions. Right. What is it that I want to experience when I go to sleep? What do I want to learn? Do I want to have you have to have something that you know what is it that you want to do. If you don't have a goal, even in your waking life, you're not going anywhere. Okay. Same with the dream. Same with the dream.
You set the intention.
Yes, an intention like a map. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
write it down even.
I'm fascinated by this conversation because this is totally new territory for me. When I have had some vivid dreams overnight, I've woken up exhausted. So my question then is, if you are intending to dream every night, do you actually feel rested in the morning?
I do. There's one, you see, what happens is that we're like a computer sort of. So we can set intentions or programming ourselves. So if you don't get the rest that you need, all you have to say is body asleep, mind awake. See, you give yourself commands and the body responds, your brain responds. You are the captain of this ship or this vessel. You give the orders.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to dream, you can turn that switch off. You can say, tonight, I want to have a nice resting ambience, or my body rest, my mind rest.
Right.
That's all you have to say.
Okay. So as you say, it's down to you setting the intention, you being, as you said, the captain of your ship. Got
Right.
it. Okay.
Right.
So
yes.
Thank you for clarifying then the what astral projection is and what the lucid dreaming is. Okay.
Yeah.
So, sorry, did you want to pick up on that?
Yes, the lucid dreaming is the part of the lucid dreaming. Okay. So what about astral projection? Astral projection is when we have body sensations. In lucid dreaming, we don't have any physical sensations.
Okay.
Astral projection has physical sensations. Some people experience sleep paralysis.
Okay.
And others, they experience vibrations, like this surge of energy going through their body up and down. And some others have experienced sleep paralysis, which they cannot move, which is natural. So the body does that to protect you, so you don't act your dreams. You don't crash into a wall. You don't get up and start running like crazy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So what happens is that the body is paralyzed, but also you enter into a frequency to match the frequency of the universe, let's say, so you can have this experience. You get the experience of, some people hear this earthquake sound, like rumbling, like an earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Some others, I have experienced those things. Mine have been like an airplane engine sound, and the tingling sensation all over the body. So that's a clue that you're entering into vibration with, matching a vibration with the non-physical reality.
Right. So it's a low vibration from a frequency perspective. It's actually very low and almost visceral.
Right. You see, we walk in this vibration, right? Physical vibration, it's physical. You can touch this. But to enter into a non-physical vibration, you got to disintegrate.
Yeah.
You can't take this form. So you have to become that vibration so you can experience it.
Okay. So,
and it's funny because it's funny because in the Bible even says that in order to experience these realms of God, you have to pretty much match his vibration or we die.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Hello.
And when I read that, I was like, oh my God, now that makes sense. Why we had to go through this process, these feelings, these sensations to match that vibration. Because if we don't, then, we getting shocked.
Yes.
It's just like get scared and die because we don't know, we don't understand. Yeah.
Doing things his way.
Yes.
As you obviously are a Bible scholar, you'll remember that when the two fellows did the incense that wasn't doing it according to God's way, God went, nope.
Exactly. There's a lot of things in the Bible that you have to be very intuitive and understanding and comprehending. That's what I always pray for: comprehension, understanding, and wisdom, so I can understand what the Bible is talking about. And there's so many ancient scriptures that talks about these things, but we don't pay attention to it. But if we do, they teach us the secrets on how to get to all this.
Right.
So we can be in connection with the higher self, with God. That's a way of connecting with the universe.
So that's that same vibration. So pulling you back for a minute, the astral projection, is that done in a sleep state as well?
Yes.
Right. Okay, great. So thank you, because I'm just sort of having mind blown moments here and going, okay, so yeah, my dear old.
See, we're more than this physical body. We're more than this physical body.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And there's this energy that is within us, inside of us, that we don't harness. We don't harness that energy inside of us that can help us navigate this realm, this physical world, and it help us guide us to select, to be able even to select the right people to be around us, to make better business decisions. We can harness all that to scan even what place would be the best place for me to evolve. That's what I did when I was in Colombia. Before I went to bed, I said, show me where will be the best place for me to grow, to evolve, and then it showed me my dream, this this sidewalk with stars, and then I see this Chinese theater, or I thought it was a temple, and then I heard people speaking in English. And the next day I turn the TV on, and then I see that same things. I see it on this movie. I see the people walking on the star, with the star sidewalk is, and then they say that it's a Chinese theater in Los Angeles, and that's where I knew that's what I'm going.
Love it.
That's when,
Love it.
and
Thank you.
and a year later, and then about a year later or so, that's when I was able to come to Los Angeles, to California.
Okay.
And then my life started evolving from there. Yes.
So, I mean, for me, I've looked back and seen how the jigsaw pieces have been lined up, or the dominoes have been lined up, if you like. But what I'm hearing from you is that you are consciously saying, I want to line these up. Where am I going, and how do I do the lining up in the first place so that it gets me to where I'm aiming to be, or where my destiny is? Maybe a bit quicker.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. You can, when you pay attention to the energy field, which is everything that exists, you're able to change and create your own reality, how you want to live your life. Like, I always wanted to have my own business. So I went from being a waiter and having a dream. I asked God to make me a business owner, and for another place that I work as a massage therapist, and I dreamt that that was going to be my business. And in my dream, I woke up and I said, how is it possible? How am I going to be the owner? And in my dream, showed me, go in the morning and touch it and say, this is mine, this is mine. Everything that you see is yours. 6:30 in the morning, I woke up, went to the place, the spa where I worked, and I start touching everything. This is mine, the cash register is mine, the table massage is mine, customers are mine, everything is mine.
Were you saying this out loud or in your head?
Aloud, and touching everything. People that were walking around, they thought I was crazy. The security came by and said, Jaime, what are you doing? I said, I'm touching this because this is mine. It's been shown to me in a dream that this is going to be mine. So, of course, they say, well, we wish you good luck. But you know what? 3 weeks later, the owners called me. The manager called me and said, you know what? The owners wants to talk to you. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, they want to see if you were interested in buying the business. So I already knew where this was going.
Yes.
So that night I said, I set another intention. I said, universe, God, show me how am I going to do this. I don't have any money. I'm a waiter. I don't have a house. I don't have money in the bank. What do I do? And in that night, they showed me what to do.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
So I was guided. So anyways, to make it the story short, I had a meeting with the owners. The owners told me what they wanted me to buy the business. And I told them I don't have any money, but to give me some time and think. So my dream showed me that move some money from a credit card that I had, take some money out, put it in the bank, and show that you have some financials. And I did everything. And get your certificates ready for licenses and everything. So I did all that too. So and they told me how much to offer for the business. So I went to the meeting.
Guided, weren't you?
I went to the meeting and I told them, they offered me, this is the offer they told me this is what they wanted. And then I said, this is what I can offer. and within a year I can pay you the rest. And they took it. They say, it's your business now.
How exciting, how exciting. Thank you for sharing that, Jaime. So this is where you've got to for now. Now, I want to pull us back to the premise of this podcast. We're talking about from page to stage. I'm going to ask you, when did you start writing?
About 3 years ago. I always wanted to write, but I was made fun of. My friend always made fun of me because they said that, how do you, first of all, when I was telling people that I want to buy the business, they laugh at me. They said, how are you going to buy a business? You don't know anything about business. You don't even speak English that well. At the time, my English was pretty bad. And you don't even know anything about business. I say, I don't know anything about business, but the universe, God's going to show me the way. It's going to put the right people in my way. And he has promised me that it's going to be my business. It's going to get me out of here from being a waiter to a businessman, because that's what I prayed for. So when it happened, they couldn't believe it, that I became an owner. They had to come to see it.
Yep.
That I was the owner of the place. And then after all that, I sold the business later on, and I did very well. And then I had a dream that I was going to be a dad. And then I told my husband, we're going to be parents. Let's put money away because we're having a baby. And then he asked me, how's this going to happen? I said, I don't know, but I dreamt it. So on the next day, I pray again. And I said, God, Lord, if this is meant to be, give me confirmation. And I had the same dream. So when my baby was born, it's been 11 years now. He asked me to stay as a stay-home dad. So I've been a stay-home dad for the past 11 years. So I was asking God, what am I going to do? I mean, I need to do something. I want to write. I want to share this with people. I want to let them know that we can harness the power of dreams to manifest things here in this world, to bring them to life. And took a class on podcasts with Payman, our friend Payman. And I was talking about lucid dreaming, to explaining what my podcast will be about. So I said lucid dreaming, manifestation, astral projection, because I want people to become aware that the power that is within us. And Mary Gooden, the publisher, was there listening. And she came up to me and said, you know what? I have nobody has written about lucid dreaming or astral projection. Would you be interested in writing? And I told her, no. I said, no. Because I got scared. Because the narrative that I had in my head from my friends was, you don't know English. You don't know how to write English. How are you going to do that? I got scared. I started sabotaging myself. So she came back.
What I'm hearing then is that actually, which came first, the podcast or the actual published work?
The podcast.
The podcast came first.
But I didn't do the podcast. I started my own podcast because I was afraid because of my English not being good. So I just took the class just to be curious.
All these things you're telling yourself, what I call internal scripts. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So have you launched your podcast yet?
No. Yeah, I'm holding back, but I will. But what happened, one thing leads to another. That podcast took me to meet Mary because I was praying that I really wanted to write.
Yes.
But I always has helped me, guide me, and put the right people and the right tools for me to know what to do.
Yep.
I always ask for help. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help. The universe is waiting for you to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Sure.
That's what I learned. And I guarantee you, when you ask with that faith and in a humble way, the universe opens up and gladly gives it to you. And that's how my life has been, always. Beautiful. Anything I ask, I receive. So I ask for, I would love to have a publisher that will hold my hand and guide me and do everything else for me. And so anyways, she shows up, Mary, Gooden, and when she asked me to write, I said no, but she didn't give up on me. She came back and said, Jaime, you can do it. And I said, I don't know how to write in English. I've been told I don't know how to write in English, and English is my second language. So I was that was my excuse.
Yep.
And Payment and Mary said to me, write from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
You have the information within you already.
Yep.
So finally I say yes to Sacred Surrender. That was the first book. I could show it, but I'll go and get in a little bit. And that book, when I asked God, give me something to write, I don't know what to write about. Because, the narrative, I realized, wait, the narrative about me not speaking English and no writing English, it's not my narrative. It's someone else's thoughts and words. They're not my words. They're not my thoughts. So once I cleared that out, and Payment helped me work my throat chakra to speak, because I was so afraid to speak, then I noticed a change of energy within me, a shift of energy. Suddenly, I felt like strong again. My throat chakra was clear. And then I had the strength to grab a pen and paper and start writing whatever comes through me. So I wrote it, and I handed it to the publisher. They liked it. And then it was a multi-author book. And it got published, Sacred Surrender. And it became #1 international bestseller.
Well done. Well done. So that was
Yes.
the first one. And that came out when?
And that was about 22.
22.
I'm sorry. Yeah, about 22.
22. Okay. What we'll do, Jaime, is because I think probably the easiest thing to do on the show notes. So listen up, audience. We're going to put all this information that Jaime has shared. I'm going to give you a snippet, a bit of a précis of the astral projection and the lucid dreaming in the show notes. I'm also going to suggest that we put in Jaime's author page on Amazon, so you can check out all the things that he's done. Okay, because this guy has now got the bit between his teeth, and he's doing a lot of writing. So there was that. You've just launched your third book, haven't you?
Yes. So that one, the Sacred Surrender, came #1. Then the Mary Good and the publisher asked me again if I'll write again, because people did like what we've written, and we're interested in hearing and reading more. So I wrote a second book, Revolutionary Leaders. And Revolutionary Leaders also talks about people just like me showing up into the world and helping others to realize their potential.
Yeah.
And that one became #1 international also. And then finally, Mary came back to me and said, you know what, why don't we work on a project about lucid dreaming and astral projection? Because in the community that I belong to, the International Association for the Study of Dreams, there are people there that we all keep journals about our dreams. I am sure it will be interesting in sharing their stories with the world. So we put together Divine Dreamers book, which is right now, we just launched it about 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago.
As we're recording this, so let's put a time date on this, Jaime. So it came out on the 20 of March?
March 27th.
March 27th. Okay. So March 27th, 2024. So this was Divine Dreamers. Excuse me. So we'll put that link on as well. Now that's already gone to international #1, hasn't it?
International #1 as we speak. Yes. Yes.
Congratulations.
So yes.
And now, how many podcasts have you been on to publicize it?
Since I wrote the first book, the first chapter book, I have been invited to about 11 podcast interviews.
This is
just to talk about lucid dreaming.
You've got to talk about it.
This is what's very interesting. I was told that I needed to go and find people to interview me, but I noticed that they're coming to me to ask me to be in their show or to introduce about lucid dreaming astral projection to their audience, because a lot of people talk about having these vivid dreams, but they don't know what they are.
Mhm.
And this is so needed. This is a topic that is not very much talked about
Yeah,
or taught anywhere. So I found like I could help other people to realize what the dreams are telling them, how to navigate the dreams, how to use them for their own benefit, healing, creativity. There's so much that we don't tap into our potential.
sure. So let me pull
Yeah.
you back again. So in terms of your stage appearances, now, one of the things that our authors who are listening to this, some of them are reluctant to actually get on stage because their sense of stage is, big platform, microphone in hand, spouting forth, lots of people, almost Tony Robbins rah, rah, rah style. And not surprisingly, they're going, no. And that's totally understandable. My suggestion, if audience, you're listening to this and thinking, yeah, that's me, take a leaf out of Jaime's book. Remember what he was telling himself? I'm no good at English. I can't write. I can't speak.
Yeah.
He did not identify himself either as a writer or a speaker. And yet here we are, 3 international bestsellers under his belt already. And I wouldn't mind betting there's another one percolating, is there?
Yeah. You know what? After
Might be.
this, my self-confidence has gotten stronger.
Yes.
Now I feel that I can write my own solo book. Why not?
Absolutely.
And
So
I always
that's
thought,
coming up. Excellent.
yes, and I always thought that being a writer or an author, it was too high for me to reach. That they were not tangible for me to grab.
Mhm.
That's what I always thought. But you know what? That's not true. You can get there too.
Yes. This is why those multi-author books, the anthologies, are such
Yes.
a useful tool to stick your toe in the water. If I can do this, and again, it's down to what you're telling yourself. Now, Jaime, you've got a good excuse in that English is not your first language. An awful lot of our authors, English is not their first language. The lady I interviewed earlier on today, English is her fifth language. And then she's writing a book. And you go,
Wow.
there, as you say, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's not a will, there's an excuse. So what we're telling ourselves is really important. Jaime, you are wonderfully showing us the way on that you can be an author, and case in point, you're being on a podcast right now, you can be a speaker. Now, from stage, you could be on a podcast, you can be on a virtual summit. Have you done any virtual summits yet?
No, I have not.
We'll talk off camera. I can introduce you to some people on that. And also there's the live stage. Now, each one of those has a slightly different skill set required, but they're all stages. So if
That's
authors,
right.
You're listening to this and going, I can't do this stage, you don't have to. Let's start, as Jaime said, it's something that's a little bit easier to manage.
Yeah.
A one-on-one conversation like we're doing here now. Podcasts. Come on, let's jump on a podcast and let's see how you can do your page and stage together. Beautiful. Okay, so Jaime, we've talked about your writing and your speaking as a direct contradiction to what you were being told and what you were taking on board. And you've worked past that. So kudos to you, sir. Well done. Well done.
Yes. I would like to add something real quick, that the universe sometimes sends you signs. And if we don't pick up on the signs that the universe is sending you, if you're not aware of that, they're going to pass you by.
Right.
And one of the reasons I say that is because prior to all this, I was having, I have a group on Astral Projection, Lucid Dreaming on Facebook. And I noticed that there were also writers writing about lucid dreaming, and they will add my name on the acknowledgement. that they learned so much from me,
Mhm.
and they were thanking me, and they put me on their books. And I also noticed that any experience that I would share in the group in writing, authors were putting in their books. So I say, oh wow, that's cool, that's great. But actually, I think that was a sign, a clue of the universe telling me that I'm ready to write. I'm ready to share in
Yes.
writing with the world.
Yeah.
But I wasn't picking up that at the time.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm putting it together.
Yes.
And also I was
You're
being
ready.
invited. Yes. And also I was being invited about in 2011, I was invited to a documentary called The Face. It's on YouTube, and it talks about lucid dreaming, astral projection. So I was invited to, I was filmed at my home. Some Hollywood producers came by and did that. And, but my point is that that's how the universe telling you that you're ready. The universe send you these clues. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, okay, they're, this is gonna interview me. Oh, cool. But I wasn't taking it, putting it together how important this was.
Yes.
And that probably prepared, God, the universe was preparing me for this moment.
So actually, speaking came first. You documentary. Hello. It's another stage.
Yeah.
Conversations, lives, whether we're doing it with one person, whether we're doing it on a podcast, whether we're doing it in a business meeting, they're all forms of stage. Oh, Jaime,
Yes.
how exciting. We'll make sure that that is also in the show notes so people can go and check you out, because that was a while back. And one of the things I love when you have a YouTube channel is you leaving up your old original stuff. And then people can go back and go, oh, golly, yeah, she's come a long way, hasn't she? That's the case. We're always learning. We're a work in progress. Oh, beautiful, Jaime. Thank you. Thank you. So we've looked at the astral projection. We've looked at the lucid dreaming. You've unpacked those for us. We know that your speaking actually preceded your writing now. And that's the thing. It's our definitions of what is a stage, what is writing. I was talking to one person the other day who her earliest writing was she wrote a play when she was 9.
Wow.
She wasn't a published author until much later, but she went on a screenwriting course, and one of her plays actually was taken to a stage, a Broadway stage.
Wow.
So she really has seen her work, her page and stage, because her words did come to life. My point is, what we're telling ourselves as to what is an author, what is a speaker, what's our definition of stage. So this is where this podcast is going to, asking our audience to reflect on, like Jaime's been doing, what am I telling myself? What are those internal scripts? Are they actually serving me? Or do I need to flip them into something a little bit more helpful or resourceful? Beautiful. Okay, so Jaime, as we're winding up, I would love to ask you, have you got anything you can share with our audience, how you embody your words, how you take the written word from the page when you speak about your work?
Can you repeat that question?
It's very long-winded. Okay, my point is, for our authors who are feeling reluctant, they're a bit scared of doing the actual process of page and stage. My question is, what do you do to take the energy, if you will, from the page and bring it out onto stage as you're speaking?
You know what? I'm going to say something like my daughter says. She says, say yes to opportunities. Right. So whatever comes up, just do it. And if you don't know how to do it, you'll figure it out. That's what she says to me. And the reason I say that is because I asked her if she wanted to be in this project, Divine Dreamers, as a writer too. She was 10 at the time. And she said yes. She said yes, just like that. Not afraid, nothing. And I said, okay, you need to, the theme is this about divine dreamers, lucid dreaming. She's familiar with that. because that's what I teach her. And she sat down in 2 hours and a half, she wrote her chapter. No big deal.
Published
No big
author
deal.
at age 12 now, is she?
10.
10.
She's 11 now.
She's 11,
now. So she wrote her own bio and she wrote her own chapter.
Good on her. Good on her.
Yeah, so she's in the book too. And so, and in her chapter, she talks about being a rainbow spirit. And because she told me she was a rainbow spirit when she was 4 years old. And she told me she went out of her body. She saw colors and that she's a rainbow spirit. I didn't know anything about rainbow spirits. So I checked it out, Google. And of course, there is such thing as the rainbow spirits. You know, we're indigo children, we're crystal children, but I didn't know that there was rainbow children.
And now you do, because you're living with one.
And now I do. So she says, I'm going to say what she says, say yes to opportunities when opportunities arrive and it's in alignment with your goals, with your purpose, then you know it's the right for you.
Yes. Just do it, Nike.
Yes, do it. Just do it, Nike.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So if I had it real quick, I can go and get the book and bring it back to show you. I'll go and get it real quick.
So Jaime, you got your books ready for us to show us?
Yes, I got my Sacred Surrender, my first book.
Okay. And that was the one that came out in 21, 22?
22.
22.
And then this one
and
about
Revolutionary
23.
Leaders.
Yep. And now this is my project. This was my idea.
That's your
yes,
precious
this is my baby. Yes.
Love it.
And
Love
the symbol, the sacred geometry, I explain in the book how that came to be, because it was given to me as a teenager back home in Colombia, in an out-of-body experience that I had. And these beings, they gave me this triangle. And when I asked them, what do I do with this? And they said, when the time comes, you'll know.
Okay.
So here's the time. Now it's in the book, and it's dreams and opportunities, hope, bring people together. There's a lot of encoded in this Divine Dreamers book.
Okay, love it.
Collaboration.
So, as we're winding up, is there anything we've missed off? You shared about your books. You've shared about your journey from Colombia into California, and your wonderful blossoming as both a writer and an author. Sorry, an author and a speaker. So I can't wait for your podcast to come out. Is that the next step?
Yes, that's gonna be the next step. Now I'm taking the clues from you. Gotta listen to the universe speaking to you.
Yes,
that's right.
Love it.
But I do want to say that when you awaken to your own reality and everything starts happening and manifesting for you, it doesn't only manifest just for you. It also extends it to other people.
Yes.
Like family members. Like my daughter now is a published author, and extends even friends. You start bringing all these people into uplifting, getting them to upgrade themselves, even by learning new things, doing the podcast, writing. You start becoming all those things that you always wanted to become. Yes. When you start aligning with all these kind of people. And
by sharing your message, you are passing on that vibrational uplift to the people who really do need to hear it.
Yes.
Love it.
So for your audience, don't hide anymore. You have gifts. All your gifts. It's time for all of us to start bringing them out. Yes. I had this dream that in my dream, I saw what we call the Holy Ghost being spread out all over the world. Or some people might call it Kundalini Awakening, Holy Ghost, whichever you want to call it. But it's been spread all over the world. Now, the key here is who is responding to the call and who is not. So those people that are responding to the call of this dream that I had of becoming awake, or they're becoming awakened, those are the people who are going to show up to deliver the words in writing or speaking, like you said, or just becoming a revolutionary leader, like I talk in this book, we're going to be showing up to the world, because we got to bring the vibration higher. Right now, the vibration on the planet is a little bit low. And by us showing up and doing this, what we're doing, we're raising the vibration. Beautiful. Also, it's going to help our children. Our children is the next healers for the world.
Love it. Love it. Okay, Jaime, we're going to have to finish there, sir. Thank you so much for sharing with our audience your from page to stage. For now, everyone, bye from us.
Thank you.